Hey there, YouTubers! I got a new toy. My new ENGL Ironball amp. Yeah. I really wanted an ENGL after trying some in the store, but I wanted something I could take to me for jam sessions and gigs that didn't weigh a ton. And also to play late at night in my apartment so I didn't upset my neighbors and stuff. So I bought this ENGL. It wasn't cheap, but it was $500 less than a Mark V Mesa Boogie um, 25 watt amp. And this is 20 watts, um, and it sounds amazing, and it's real easy to use. And then I bought a 1x12 Mesa Boogie cab to go with it since I wanted something light. I still kept my 4x12 for home use and future use if I ever play stadiums or outside. But this thing is just amazing. And the 1x12 cab is amazing too. Um, so I'm going to do some demos of it. So what's cool about it is it has, a really good clean channel. Also has a gain boost, which is really cool. You can see here it's got a gain boost and it's got a lead clean to switch to the lead channel. It's 2-channel amp, but it doesn't have a traditional channel switcher a lot of amps have. It has a lead channel, and then the gain boost if you want to boost the clean channel. Works like a clean boost pedal, and then of course the standby switch and the power switch. Now I bought this amp without playing it based on reviews I read, and I can say I'm not disappointed. It is the best lunchbox amp I've played. There's things about the Mark V Mesa Boogie amp I like, but this has clear on the high gain. You'll see once I do the playing demo. Also, on the back, before we get to the back, if you look at the side, it's really cool. They do some really cool artwork. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look, it has some cool little artwork that the artist at ENGL did. And it's got a little handle so you can pick it up. And on the back of it, what you got is made in Germany, of course, not made in China. The really cool thing about this amp is the power soak attenuator device built into the amp, which is really attractive. So I read the manual. They give you a really good manual with the amp, which is nice. You should always have it hooked up to a cab of some type. 8 ohms is what I use for my 1x12. And then you have the different options to go from full power 20 watts down to 5, down to 1. And then if you're going to use headphones, speaker off. This sucker is really loud. I did not expect a small 20 watt amp to be that loud. But this fucker is really loud. I was surprised. I had it on the floor and it was vibrating on the floor, so I had to put it up so my neighbor wouldn't go ballistic on me. He's very noise sensitive, so I have it on the 4x12 to shield it from the floor vibrations, which works pretty well. So if I'm practicing, I'll use my headphones and have the speaker off, or I'll keep it at 1 watt. 1 watt is really loud, plenty of loud. I don't even use the full master beyond maybe part of the way. So here on the back we also have a foot switch if you buy the optional foot switch pedal or a compatible pedal. The effects loop for send and return. The reverb is built into the amp. Is really beautiful reverb. I'll do a demo. I really like the reverb a lot. And then headphones. One thing that did confuse me about this, I could never get an answer from ENGL or from anybody on the forums, is this whole 8 to 32 ohms. Now, what the fuck does that mean? Are you supposed to like use a headphone that's like designed for a fucking iPod, like an 8 ohm headphone? Most headphones are much higher, like 80 to 250 ohms. So I used my headphone with it, which is a much higher ohm headphone, never had any issues. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take by that. That's what didn't make sense to me. And of course the balance line output, if you're going to go to a mixer, I think that's what that's for. Also the 8 ohm It also has an option for 16 ohm serial A and B if you're going into like a 2x12 or 4x12. So it's pretty awesome. I must say I love this amp. It's probably, I like it better even than my 6505 because it has a better clear channel. It's lighter, it doesn't weigh a ton, and it just looks awesome. And it's easier to use. I don't have to use any boost or overdrive pedals with this thing. It just sounds amazing. And yeah, it wasn't cheap. I think I paid, you know, a little over $1,000 for it, but it's an amazing amp. So anyways, I'm totally loving ENGL. I like the amp models on my Helix and HX Stomp. So I thought, and I tried a Screamer in a store and I wanted one. So here I am, it doesn't disappoint. If you're practicing at home, I recommend probably either the 1 watt or the speaker off with headphones. Just make sure you have it hooked up to a cab. The manual talks about that. And the cool thing too is the tubes glow red when you turn it on. We'll see in a minute. I'm going to do a demo, so stay tuned. Now, we did 20 watt full power the first time with clean and high gain, and then we went down to 5 watt, and now we're going to do the lowest setting 1 watt. This is clean with no reverb. So I recommend this setting for apartments and late night practicing. So that's no reverb, that's clean. Now we're going to try it with the gain boost for the clean. And I've kept these settings basically the same for all to keep a comparison even. Use the gain boost for the clean channel. So even without reverb, it sounds good, but on clean channel, the reverb is really good, as you heard earlier. But I like the clean boost if I'm playing classic rock. So if I'm going, and then switch the clean boost off and use the lead channel and keep the gain the same. I have it set pretty high and I have it scooped. I'm not playing my best because I just rode my bike home from work and I'm all sweaty and I want to play before my neighbor gets home and doesn't complain. So what's interesting is on the lead channel, the volume drops quite a bit. Under the clean channel with the gain boost, the volume goes up quite a bit. But if I put on both the gain and clean, let's see what happens. It'd help if I turn the volume up on my guitar. So you can see the volume drop. So it's great. You can get good distortion and it's not loud. And if we turn the lead volume up, clean gain is kind of like the volume channel for the clean channel, I think. myself with the amp. So Kirk Hammett used to tap with a pick. He used to take his pick and go. He used to tap it. I'm still trying to get that right. The mute strings. I have more trouble playing this guitar than my Jackson because Jackson's a wider fretboard. It's got really good high gain channel and really good clean is at low volume compared to my PB, which no matter what, it is super loud. And this thing can get really loud. I never thought 20 watt amps could be this, could really be this loud until I started playing them, and then I just realized living in an apartment, I don't need 20 watts, I only need one. But this can keep up with a drummer on a, at a gig and stuff. This isn't my best playing because I'm kind of still warming up, getting home and stuff. You can get really good pinch harmonics with this amp. It's so easy. So I get a good one here. And tapping is just like a piece of cake. I mean, like if I'm doing just like tapping. Yeah, so what are my thoughts on this amp? It's awesome. I mean, it's just fucking a great amp. I think I paid $1,400 for the 1x12 Mesa Boogie Mini Rectifier cab, and with the amp, it was out the door $1,400. And to me, it wasn't cheap, but it just sounds so massive. And I barely have this amp even cranked. I mean, I haven't even moved it to even less than a quarter on the master, and it sounds massive for a tiny amp. And the thing is, there's other amps out there, lunchbox amps like the 5150 EVH that are good, but they didn't sound as clear to me. I mean, and it's just I like the ENGL sound. It's different. And you can get a lot of, the clean is really good on it, and the reverb is nice. And the red tubes just look really cool in my opinion. So I had to order it because I don't see many stores carry it, but it is definitely really good. I like it, and I definitely recommend it if you live in an apartment and can't crank a 100-watt amp. Who can these days anyways? I think the trend is towards 20 and smaller watt amps. I mean, Friedman is coming out with 20-watt amps, and Mesa. And I like the Mesa Mark V 25 amp, but it was $500 more. And it takes a rocket scientist to figure out. This thing is like the simplest thing to dial in. It's a piece of cake. I had way less time to figure it out. And it just sounds awesome. I mean, I love the sound of it. It's just fun to play. I mean, I love it. But anyways, please subscribe. Let me know how you liked it. I admit this was not my best guitar playing because I'm all sweaty and I just got home from work and I wanted to play it at a loud volume before my neighbor downstairs got home, so he didn't file another complaint against me for playing my guitar. He hates me for some reason. I don't know what his problem is, but anyways, doesn't matter. It's his problem. Discard his task. I'm gonna move on. But anyways, yeah, keep rocking on.